Welcome to Jake's and Nick's Takes and Picks. Here we are, week 3.
We're back.
We struggled last week, Nick.
Oh, what a week it was, Jake.
Tell the people how we did.
Well, I went 8-8.
Did you really?
Scott, the special guest, he went 8-8. Good old JC, Jake's Bua, he went 7-9 again. 7-9. Jake is 2 games under 500 now on the season. I am 1 game over. Like
Nick,
that way.
You ever seen a baby deer?
No.
Never seen a baby deer?
No.
Well, let me tell you about a baby deer. It comes out and its legs are like, oh, and he can't stand. And you know what? That's where I'm at. I'm at 7-9. I'm trying to stand. But you know what happens when the deer becomes a non-baby, aka
It gets shot by a hunter?
No, they sprint their balls off, which is what I will be doing week 3 and on.
So you'll have no more balls.
Let's get started. The Thursday night game. Carolina Panthers.
Thursday night. Why don't you get started, Jake?
Carolina Panthers at Houston Texans. Here we are. Okay. Nick, I've thought about this game a lot. Backup quarterback for the Houston Texans. No more Tyrod Taylor. The Panthers look good. 2-0 start. Are they a 3-0 team? Maybe. However, I'm absolutely taking the Houston Texans +8 at home. Way too many points. I don't believe in Sam Darnold. He's good for a pick 6. Low scoring game. That's it.
Starting off, disagreeing. I'm going to go ahead and take the Carolina Panthers -8. One of the only 2-0 teams right now. I'm not going to say they beat the best teams in the league, but the Texans, their star player right now is Tyrod Taylor, and he got hurt. I don't really believe in Davis Mills. I don't think that he's going to be that great, especially his first game back. I think the Panthers are maybe like a little bit legit, at least. I think that they can cover the 8 points, even on the road. Take the Panthers.
That's fair.
All right, moving on to Sunday. Chicago Bears at Cleveland Browns. Wow. News today, Justin Fields is going to be starting for the Bears. Honestly, he didn't look that great when he came in last week. But I mean, he's coming in for someone that's injured, didn't really get the full week of practice. Playing the Browns at the Browns, a touchdown. I just don't think the Bears can do it. I see the Browns winning this game by more than 7 points. I'll take the Browns.
Nick, I completely agree with you. I think that people are going to be super hyped on Justin Fields, and I think he's going to be good, but you're giving him this first start on the road against a pretty good Browns front. And, you know, the Browns need a nice convincing win at home. I think they're going to win by more than 7. So I agree. Browns -7. Up next, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Detroit Lions. Now, I think Lions are at home. I think the Ravens are a lot better than people think. For some reason, I think people are down on the Ravens this year, but I think they're good. However, I like what the Lions got going on with Dan Campbell. Remember when he was the interim coach in Miami and everyone's going nuts?
Yeah.
I'm fighting the Lions. I think if the spread's too big, Lions have an absolute chance to backdoor. Give me the Lions +9 at home.
Yeah, the Lions are a weird team, huh? I can't get a read on them. Like, I had them last week at +11.5 against the Packers. I thought that was too many points. They were leading at halftime, and then they lose by 17 points? Like,
Yep. Green Bay forward. I know.
They shouldn't have lost that game by 17 points when you're leading at halftime. I don't know. This game, if I'm betting, I'm probably fading this game overall. But I think the Ravens got some momentum going, and they got a little taste of victory, and they've got some mojo. I'll take the Ravens.
Got the mojo. I mean, yeah, there is a scenario where the Ravens just run the ball for 300 yards on the line, and they just can't do anything. But we shall see.
All right, Cardinals at Jaguars. Man, those Jaguars are pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
the Cardinals. I mean, I expected the Cardinals to come in last week and handle business against the Vikings. They should have lost that game. Am I going to take 4 favorites in a row? I don't know. I think the Cardinals are a much better team than the Jags. 7 points. Might be a push. I'll take the Cardinals.
Wow, this are we 4 for 4 disagreements? I'm taking the Jags at home. They just can't be consistently the whole season undervalued and just getting not covering the spread. I just don't think that can keep happening. I think the Cardinals. I think this line's a lot different if the Cardinals are 1-1, and they would be 1-1 with a missed field goal by the Vikings kicker, and this line's like 5. So I'm taking the Jaguars at home. Please, Jaguars. I mean, you have to do something. You have to do something.
Plus, I mean, let's not forget that the Jags haven't won a game since week 1 of last year. So. I mean,
You know what that means? You know what that means, Nick? In the famous words of Trent Dixon, they're due. All righty. LA Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. This isn't strictly anything. The Kansas City Chiefs defense is awful. I like the Chargers. I think they're a good team. I think they played 2 tough opponents. I think they absolutely cover plus 6.5 Chargers.
Yeah, I honestly didn't see too much of the Cowboys Chargers game last week. But
you sure
from what I heard, that game was 20-17, and there was only 1 punt. I think Bardo told me that. Yep. 1 punt in the game, and it was 20-17. I think the Chargers bit themselves in the ass a couple times there. I think that every game in that division is going to be pretty close. They just are all good teams. So yeah, I'll take the Chargers plus 6.5. I'll agree with you there, Jake.
That's our first agreement.
It is.
Unbelievable.
Actually, no, we agreed on the Browns. We agreed on the Browns.
Did we? Oh, we did. We did.
All right. Saints at Patriots. Wow. Does anyone have a read on either of these teams right now?
Nope.
Like, I literally, after last week, have no idea.
Nobody except for us.
The Jets made them look terrible, but they're the Jets and they're the Patriots. I mean, what can you say? But you knew that was going to happen. And then the Saints just lay an egg against the Panthers after doing what they did against Green Bay. I mean, Saints are away in New England. The Patriots are just solid overall, just good defense, run the ball. Mac Jones doesn't really make any mistakes. I think I'm going to take the Patriots here, minus 2.5.
Oh, good. We have another agreement for the people. Yeah, I think the Pats at home. I think they're a good, solid team. I think the Saints are up in the air. I mean, I feel like there is a small percentage chance that the Saints just win convincingly, but I'm absolutely picking the Pats at home, minus 2.5. I think they run the ball. It's a low scoring game. They get the dub. All right, Colts at Titans. Now, this is a weird one. Is Wentz? This line came out when we didn't know the Wentz news. So, Nick, is Wentz playing?
I think he'll play. I don't think he'll be very good, though. But I think he'll play.
I agree with you. I picked the Titans at home, minus 5.5. I think they cover. That's it. Bing, bang, done.
Yeah. I think the Titans kind of like the Ravens. They got that momentum going, kind of found their identity last week with Derrick Henry going for about 50 in fantasy. But yeah, I think the Titans are a much better team. If Wentz doesn't play, I mean, easy cover. But yeah, I'll take the Titans here too.
Love it.
Washington football team at the Buffalo Bills. Wow. Vegas is just nailing these lines, huh?
I know they're making it tough for us this week.
Plus 7.5. Bill.
I'll take it from here. Nick goes Bills.
You go first. I don't know. Let me hear your analysis on this one.
All right. Well, I went to the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills game, and the Bills are good. It was a convincing win. It was 36-0. I know. But I watched that whole game, and there's something about the Bills that I just feel like they're overrated to the public, and they're a good team. Josh Allen is good, but nothing about them is great. Now, that's not saying anything because they're playing the Washington football team, and I think the Washington football team are overhyped, but I also think their defensive front is still good, even though it's not as good as everyone thought. I think 7.5 points is too much. I like Heineke kind of. I mean, he obviously is going to make mistakes, but he can sling the ball and he can run and they can put up a little bit of points. Plus 7.5, Washington football team. Lock it in. That's one of my favorite bets.
Okay, after hearing you and what you have to say, I'm going to say the opposite. I'll take the Bills minus 7.5. You think that the Bills are overhyped, and maybe they are, but I think the Washington football team is maybe the most overhyped team in the NFL. Like, going into the season, everyone's like, oh, their defense is so good. We haven't seen it. Like, they have the names, but like, we haven't seen it. They're 1-1. They should be 0-2. Honestly, they should be 0-2. I don't trust their offense. Terry McLaurin's really the only thing they got going for them. I'm going to take the Bills minus 7.5.
Are they 1-1?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. They beat the Giants last week.
Oh, yeah. Why am I thinking the Giants won?
Because the offside.
Yes, you're correct. The onside, the offside.
Yeah. All right. Let me take this one. Falcons at Giants. I'm going to take the Falcons here. I think that the Falcons may have figured something out last week against the Bucs. That game was a lot closer than the score looked with those defensive touchdowns right at the end. Don't really know what's going on there. Giants, I just hate them in general. Just hate them. They're also not very good. I'm going to take the Falcons here +3. I think Matt Ryan gets it done. He is the better quarterback here. Falcons +3. Lock it in.
I agree with you. So here's my logic. Week 1, weird week. Week 1, anything can happen. Falcons, people are high on the Falcons. They just randomly get blown out. Week 2, they play Tampa Bay, a very good team, but they keep up with them. Like you said, it was the game was a lot closer than the end score said. I mean, it was 2 defensive touchdowns at the end. I had them +12, +13. I mean, it was kind of a bad beat, even though they lost by like 25. It actually was a bad beat. And I just think this is one of those games where like the Falcons come back alive and they score a bunch of points and they blow out the Giants. And we're like, wait, oh yeah, we forgot about the Falcons. Because that's how they've been the last 2 years. Falcons +3, lock it in. I feel really good about that. I'll take the next one. Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is going to be one of those close divisional games. I think the Steelers are better than people think. I think people are a little bit too down on Ben Roethlisberger, even though he hasn't been playing great. So I'm going to take the Bengals +3.
Yeah. Ben is hurt. Apparently he's got like some pectoral issue. He's not practicing this week, but there's been some analysis saying that he was injured last season when they played the Bengals at one point. He didn't practice all week, and then he came out and like had the best game of his career. They're also still the Bengals. Like, no matter what we think about their offense, like the Steelers have a great defense. Yeah, the Steelers probably going to roll them at home. Roll them. 10+.
10+, alternate line, folks.
Joey Burrow looked awful last week. Awful. Against the Bears, awful. Awful.
Okay, Nick says Steelers -3. We're going to click the Bengals because it's my pick. On to the next, Nick. Take it from here.
All righty. The New York Jets at the Denver Broncos.
Denver.
Home team. Wow, the Jets are bad, huh? Dude, -10. The Broncos, they keep covering. I'm going to take the Broncos -10. Like, they're
wow,
good.
That's brave.
I think that they're just like a better Patriots. Like that's kind of the team that they are right now. Like, they just play great defense. They run the ball. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't turn the ball over. The Jets can't do anything defensively or offensively. -10 Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I just think this is going to be the Broncos have the ball for like the whole game. The Jets just can't do anything. Zach Wilson had one of the worst games I've ever seen last week. And Denver -10.
Lock it in.
Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. I thought about this because I'm like, what's the public perception on Miami? Tua's out. Jacoby's in. They got beat by 36. Yada, yada, yada. So you would think the public perception on Miami is bad. But then I think about the Raiders and I'm like, I think they're a really good freaking football team. So I'm a little curious why this line is only 4. I know, Dolphins with a backup QB. I feel like the line should be bigger. I'm taking the Raiders -4 at home. I think they cover. I think this is also a weird line, but Raiders -4.
Yeah, I said to you and Eric earlier in the week, like before the whole Tua thing where they officially ruled him out and it was -3.5, I think. And I was like, this has to be like the lock of the century. I mean,
yeah, you did. That was smart.
Raiders at home, they've beaten 2 good teams, Steelers and Ravens. And they were underdogs in both games. They covered easily. Also, the Dolphins, like you said, Tua's out. They're traveling across the country to Las Vegas to play there. I mean, I'm sure they're a disciplined team, but they're in Vegas. I mean, I'm sure some of those guys are going to be out a little bit,
Devontae Parker at the club.
One thing I want to say about this game, I think I'm going to pick the Raiders, but the only thing with Brissett is like, I feel like they might completely change this offense when they go to the Raiders, and they're going to run like a power option game with Brissett and one of the running backs and just kind of run Brissett into the ground. I mean, they're not going to need him for the whole season. So I don't know. I'm going to take the Raiders, but I think that we're going to see an interesting Dolphins offense next week.
He didn't look that bad last game. I know he didn't put up a point, but I promise you he didn't look that bad last game.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I had $10,000, I'd put it on Raiders money line. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to put some money on that.
Yeah.
All right. Bucs at Rams. What a game. What a game. What a game. Bucs -1.5, Rams +1.5. So going into this season, I feel like people are like way high on the Rams. Like, I think they're a really good team, but like people are like really high, like Super Bowl favorite high. And like, they really haven't dominated teams the way that people thought they would. And they had a chance to lose that game last week. If Wentz doesn't go down, I mean, they had a chance that the backup threw a pick. I mean, they have a chance to go and win that game. Bucs -1.5. They haven't lost in like 8 straight games. I'm going to take the Bucs -1.5 here.
Another agreement. Good. I'm glad we're agreeing on these end games. Yeah, I think the Rams. I mean, I think these are both 2 really good teams, but I think the Bucs are like just by far the most complete, put together team in the NFL, and they're -1.5. I just think I think the public's way overhyped in the Rams. I know the Rams are at home. But I love the Bucs here. I absolutely love the Bucs here. No doubt about it. That's one of my favorite. These 2 games are 2 of my favorite games right here. I'm going to have fun at the 4:00 window. I'll tell you that. Okay. Seahawks at Vikings. Here's another one. I love the Seahawks -1.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. The Vikings. Okay. Yes. They're a decent team. They could have just beaten the Cardinals. The Cardinals are good. I don't know, but the Seahawks -1.5 versus the Vikings, I just think there's such a higher percentage of time that the Seahawks just win that game convincingly. I love the Seahawks.
Yeah, I was looking at this line earlier, and I was like, -1.5. Like,
such a Vegas line.
Like, why? Like, what do they know that we don't? Like,
I know.
The Vikings lost to. Well, the Vikings could be 2-0. Let's just say that they almost maybe should be. In a way. I mean, they went to overtime against the Bengals. Bengals kind of came back in that game last week, just brutal. So we could be looking at like a 2-0 Vikings here, honestly, at home. But like, I just don't see the Seahawks dropping 2 in a row this early in the season. Like, I think Russ goes back into Russ mode and just like lights them up. I'm going to take the Seahawks here -1.5 also.
Agreed.
All right. Packers at 49ers. I mean, at the start of the season, you're probably circling this game thinking like this is going to be the greatest game ever. Now it's like, I mean, I don't really know about either of these teams now. Like, I just really don't. Like, I don't.
Question. I find the 49ers not as cool as they once were.
They're not that good, dude. Don't get me started about the Eagles game with them.
Yes.
Look. The 49ers should not have won that game. Like, straight up, they shouldn't have won the game. They didn't look that good. But beyond that, the 49ers are the most boring team in the NFL to watch. So boring.
Yeah, I know. They're not fun.
I almost fell asleep in the game. I was watching Red Zone more than the game. here at 49ers, they've got so many injuries. I just think like their strength is running the ball and like that defense, but like I see Aaron Rodgers like lighting them up. Like they rely so heavily on that on the run game and their defense. I think Rodgers lights them up. I just think he does.
I mean, I'm 100% taking the Packers +3.
Yeah.
Another game I just feel great about.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. I'm not even giving analysis. It's Packers +3. Aaron Rodgers over Jimmy G. This is a quarterback league.
My, oh my. My, oh my, big boy.
This is the game we've been waiting for, folks. Nick versus Jake.
1 of 2 in the season.
Eagles versus Cowboys.
You go ahead.
Nope, you're up, buddy boy.
You're up. I just did the Packers Niners.
You're correct. Eagles at the Cowboys. Cowboys -3.5. We're the better football team. I think there's a chance the Eagles covered, but I would never, ever pick the Eagles. So I'm picking the Cowboys -3.5. I think we're a better football team. I think we have a much better offense. I think we put up more points. I think it turns into a shootout, but Cowboys can score more points. Bop, bop, bop. We've competed against 2 very good opponents. We could have won both games. We won 1 game. Cowboys -3.5.
Jake. All right.
Ooh.
So
Go Cowboys.
you are right. The Cowboys are a better team. The Cowboys should win this game. Like they should. There's no doubt about it. The Cowboys should win this game. Eagles, maybe their best offensive player and best defensive player are out now. Brandon Brooks on IR. Brandon Graham tore his Achilles out for the season. Just brutal. What do you know? It's the Eagles injuries. That being said, I do think the Cowboys are going to cover this, but for the sake of my own pride, I'm going to go down and put the Eagles +3.5.
Respectable.
If they win this, they shouldn't win this game. The Eagles should not win this game. And if they do, Cowboys are in trouble. Jake.
That's untrue. But wow, what a Monday night matchup. I absolutely cannot wait. Oh, is this the
You gonna
game
bet
we're
on
gonna
it?
go to? No, this is at Cowboys.
You going to bet on it?
We should have went to this game. Me and you should have went to this game.
We could have.
A Monday nighter? Are you kidding me? Of course I'm gonna bet on it. I have to bet on it. I'm gonna bet on it.
I don't like betting on the Eagles.
When it's the only game, I'll bet on the Cowboys.
All right.
But there you have it, folks. Week 3.
In the
Nick,
books.
I believe, are you 50% even on the year so far?
No, I'm 1 game above 500.
He's 1 game above 500.
You're 2 games below. So you're 3 back of me. Right?
But what am I, Nick? Tell the people what I am.
Bad at picking.
I'm a baby deer turning into an adolescent deer. And that's it, folks. Place these bets. Make yourself some money. And go have a great NFL week 3. If I can find the stop record button,
Fuck.
then we'll be done.
Fuck.
Stop recording.